Welcome back to the channel. Remember the bandit challenge that we did in our previous video? For bandit level 24 challenge, there was a need to create a script that will brute force a numeric 4-digit PIN code in order to solve this challenge. So in the video that we did, we managed to solve this by using a Python script. So an idea came up that we might be able to solve this using the ChatGPT, which is the latest thing that everyone is talking about. So let's try and do that in today's video and see whether is it possible to solve this challenge by leveraging on ChatGPT. Let's be friendly and start off with a greeting. We will need to instruct the ChatGPT AI chatbot to create a brute forcing script in order to solve the challenge. Since in our previous video we managed to solve it using Python, let's try and get ChatGPT to generate a shell script instead. Let's try and be specific by asking it to help create a shell script that will connect to a TCP network service listening on localhost on port 30,002. Let's try and do this step by step. ChatGPT was able to tell us that we can use either Netcat or Telnet, which are both TCP client tools to connect to the network service. And it also tells us that it will not do anything else. So if we want to send data to the service or automate interaction, we will need to add additional commands to the script. Let's try and see if we can get ChatGPT to use something else other than Netcat or Telnet. Let's instruct ChatGPT to use something else, as the Linux system does not have the binaries installed. We can also start to be more specific in our request. Let's try asking ChatGPT to send some data after establishing the TCP connection. ChatGPT is asking us to use Socat instead. The chances of Socat being installed is definitely less than Telnet or Netcat. Let's be more specific now instead of beating around the bush. Let's instruct ChatGPT to use the dev/tcp wrapper to do the TCP connection. This should work on most Linux systems. This is something that is built in within Bash. There are a lot of examples given as shown in the Google results. It is recommended to read through the resources to have a better understanding of it. Let's continue with the ChatGPT console. Okay, now this looks a lot better. It is not using Netcat, Telnet or even Socat. ChatGPT also provides explanation on how does the script works, so that is really good to know. Let's try and execute the script to see the output. Since we need to create a script, we will need to work in the temp directory. Let's create the script. We need to chmod the script to make it executable. That is weird, the script doesn't work. Let's try and ask ChatGPT. Let's tell ChatGPT that the script is not working. Now the chatbot is just introducing a timeout mechanism to do so. Okay, so the script didn't get stuck. Let's try and just send in more data instead. Let's provide the output to the chatbot to see if it helps in the troubleshooting. It is telling us that the input format is wrong. ChatGPT is now using netcat again, which is not ideal. This is okay because ChatGPT is still providing the /dev/tcp format that we want. Let's give it a try. It seems that the script provided by ChatGPT is broken. Let's provide the output to ChatGPT to troubleshoot for us. It seems that the chatbot insists of using netcat. We will need to tell it to completely avoid using netcat in the shell script. I think that the issue is caused by the banner message that the network service will send back when it first established the TCP connection. Let's try and provide the information to ChatGPT. Let's see what ChatGPT will provide us. Let's give the code a try. It seems that the script didn't work. We will need to help ChatGPT to troubleshoot it properly. Let's provide the output again to the chatbot so that it can help us troubleshoot. It seems that it is now asking us to use expect with telnet instead. We do not want this. We want to stick with using the TCP wrapper. It can be difficult and tricky in order to get ChatGPT to do what we want. Let's try it again from the start. We need to think of ways to help ChatGPT to understand the situation. Let's interact with the network service and provide the entire interaction to the chatbot so that it can understand the network service. Let's start from scratch again and ask ChatGPT to generate a bash script for us. We will now provide the interaction that we had so that ChatGPT can have more context. Let's hope this works now. Let's give the code a try. Wow, it is very impressive. By providing more context to ChatGPT, it is able to now create a correct shell script that will be able to connect to the TCP network service. It is impressive that it is able to read and pass inputs like this. Let's try and instruct the chatbot to perform the loop, submit the data, and also perform some if conditional check on the response received from the network service. Let's be polite to the chatbot. Let's start with something small first. Let's see if the chatbot is able to understand our request. The code looks good so far. Let's give it a try. The script worked as intended. However, we can immediately notice something that can be improved. For each attempt, the script is creating a new TCP connection to it. Let's try and instruct the chatbot to improve on this. This is pretty impressive so far. We can see that ChatGPT is able to do so. The TCP connection is only established once, and the data will then be submitted in the same TCP connection. So this is really impressive. Now, let's try and ask ChatGPT to only print out the message if it does not contain the keyword wrong in it. Let's see if ChatGPT is able to do so. We want an if condition that will only output the message received from the network service if it does not contain the keyword wrong. Looking closer at the output, it seems that there is some error. We should not receive the error message "you did not supply enough data." Let's try and look at the script. It could be the \n that is causing this issue. Let's try and remove it manually to see if that is the case. It appears that it is indeed the case. The \n, it is causing the script to submit empty data, hence this error message. We should also instruct the chatbot to perform the loop till 9999 instead so that we can attempt the 10,000 combination. It seems that ChatGPT was not able to understand the request. The \n is still in the command. However, it has appended an additional -n for new line in the echo command. We do not want this. Let's just change this manually instead. The chatbot also performed the change to use the seq command. That is weird because we did not ask it to do so. Let's try and change this manually instead, since it is not a difficult ask. Let's run the script now and see if it is able to perform the brute force attack successfully for this challenge. We will probably need to let it run for a while. I will be editing out the waiting time for this. It seems that the script worked perfectly. We are able to get the password of Bandit25, but we were not able to get the pin code of it because we did not print it out. For example, we could have printed out the value of I as well so that we know what is the pin code. We are just printing out the response from the network service. Overall, this is a very interesting experiment and I was really blown away and impressed by ChatGPT. The content of the script will be pasted in the video description. I will see you guys in the next video. If you have enjoyed this video, please help to subscribe to the channel. It will help out the channel a lot. Thanks.